Okay, let me talk about Taysom Hill and Jameis Winston. So obviously Drew Brees is on the sideline now, but Taysom Hill is now the starting quarterback for the New Orleans Saints going forward as we speak today. He's going to get the start versus Atlanta at home. And it's kind of shocking to me that Taysom Hill was named the starting quarterback in relief of Drew Brees and not Jameis Winston, because Jameis Winston, if you look at Jameis Winston's 5-year sample size in Tampa Bay, it obviously wasn't the greatest sample size in the world, but he still went 28-42 as a starter. That's 28 wins, 42 losses. Not knocking your socks off, but again, at times he showed he could win football games. You know, he had 121 touchdown passes to 88 interceptions. Again, not the greatest touchdown to interception ratio in the world, but last year, Jameis Winston was among one of the league leaders in touchdown passes, among one of the league leaders in passing yards. In fact, he led the entire NFL in passing yards last year. Threw for 5,000 yards, had 30 touchdowns. And Jameis Winston did get a little bit of action versus the 49ers in relief of Drew Brees. He didn't knock anyone's socks off. He just came in, made a couple of quick, easy throws. The coaching staff did not ask him to do a whole lot. But a lot of people, when Jameis Winston signed with the New Orleans Saints, he signed that one-year deal. A lot of people felt that he could develop into being the long-term franchise quarterback to succeed Drew Brees. And don't get me wrong, that scenario is still on the table for Jameis Winston. But the fact that Sean Payton had an opportunity to start Jameis Winston in relief of Drew Brees this week versus Atlanta, and he chose Taysom Hill over Jameis Winston, that's a big indictment on Jameis Winston. A huge indictment, because we look at Jameis Winston, at least he somewhat has a track record as a starting quarterback. At least he's shown the capabilities to go out there and throw touchdowns and win football games. You look at Taysom Hill. Taysom Hill has thrown 18 career passes. 18 career passes. Most quarterbacks throw more than 18 passes in a single game. Taysom Hill, throughout his 4-year career as a quarterback, has thrown 18 passes. For his career, he's completed 10 of 18 passes for 205 yards, no touchdowns, and 1 interception. And that's the guy that Sean Payton chose over Jameis Winston. And by the way, Sean Payton is a super competitive guy. He's going to play whoever gives him the best chance to win. And Sean Payton, him choosing Taysom Hill to be the starting quarterback going forward over Jameis Winston, at least for the Atlanta game, that's a big indictment on Winston, like I said, because it'd be one thing if Sean Payton chose a veteran starting quarterback over Jameis Winston that was on the bench, but he chose Taysom Hill. And if Sean Payton, one of the best offensive minds in the entire NFL, says, nope, you're not good to be my starter when Drew Brees is hurt, a lot of coaches are going to take that as a red flag. And based on what I'm seeing, Jameis Winston might not be the guy. You know, I'm not at practice every day like Sean Payton. Sean Payton is at practice every day. He sees Jameis Winston's working habits. He sees what Jameis Winston brings to the table. And he chose Taysom Hill over Jameis Winston. Now, again, there could be a situation where Taysom Hill comes out here and stinks up the joint and plays very, very badly. Then Jameis Winston will have his opportunity. But this is a red flag, people. And the Saints, they very well could be in play to draft a quarterback in the 2020 NFL Draft. Or they could be in play to trade for Sam Darnold or Dwayne Haskins. 2 quarterbacks that I think are talented, that have gotten sort of raw deals, you know, with their respective teams that drafted them. Sam Darnold has not been put in a great situation to succeed. And Dwayne Haskins, you can say the same thing for him as well. You know, he's not been given the right roster and coaching to properly develop. And coaches have bailed on him. And you can look at Cam Newton. He could be an option out there. You could look at Dak Prescott. He could be an option out there. You know, Cam Newton and Dak Prescott, they're better starting quarterbacks than Jameis Winston. You'd be getting an upgrade over Jameis Winston if you bring in Dak Prescott or Cam Newton, even though both those quarterbacks have their problems. So, again, I don't know if Jameis Winston is the long-term future in New Orleans. You know, I was actually one of those people that wasn't ready to hand that title to Jameis Winston. I said, let's see what he does. Let's see, you know, if Sean Payton is sold on this guy, because I watched every single game that Jameis Winston played last season, and I just wasn't all the way that I wasn't really wowed. I said that the Buccaneers moving on from Jameis Winston to get Tom Brady was 100% the right move. I saw a guy that made poor decision after poor decision, a guy that could not throw the ball consistently with touch, a guy that just threw way too many ugly interceptions. I was not completely sold on Jameis Winston after watching those games. I said he's talented. I said he could be a starting quarterback in the NFL, no doubt about it. Still, he still has, let me put it to you this way. Jameis Winston is still arguably one of the 30 best quarterbacks in all of football, because there's, hold on, time out. Are there 30 teams or 32 NFL teams? It's either 32 NFL teams or 30 NFL teams. Bottom line, Jameis Winston's good enough to be a star in the NFL. He's among one of the 32 best quarterbacks in all of football right now, I'd say, as I speak today. But he's probably not going to get his opportunity in New Orleans if Sean Payton is not fully sold on Jameis Winston. So either way you slice it, it's a huge indictment on Jameis Winston and the Saints. As of right now, they don't have their long-term franchise quarterback of the future currently on their roster. I don't think they have that guy. Until Jameis Winston proves to me he's that guy, until Taysom Hill proves to me that he's that guy, I got to say the Saints, they're going to be in the market for a quarterback if Drew Brees hangs it up this year. So again, that's how I feel about Jameis Winston and the New Orleans Saints quarterback future going forward. Thank you so much for watching this video today. Please also note that the Juice Alert Sports Podcast is not just a YouTube channel. It is available on all podcasting platforms, including Spotify, Google Podcasts, iTunes, and Apple Podcasts. Also, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share this content with all your friends. This podcast is my favorite thing in the entire world right now. It is my passion. And I want more people to listen to this podcast. I really want this podcast to grow. Also, a fun fact about me is that I want to go into the sports broadcasting and media world once I graduate from the University of Toledo, a college in Northern Ohio. I am looking to become one of the next great sports broadcasters and analysts out in the world. And I potentially would like to start my own network if this podcast really truly grows. Or if I fall short of that goal, I would love to work for a big-time network like ESPN or Fox Sports 1. I am open to all networks. So if you believe in my dreams and you see or hear my passion through the screen, be sure to tell all your friends about the Juice Alert Sports Podcast. Stay motivated, you guys. Have a God-blessed day, and I'm out.